Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. The party of science strikes again. You Republicans, you're a bunch of backwards, cave-dwelling bigots. A bunch of conspiratorial, uneducated, science-denying cavemen and cave women. That's the narrative, right? That's what Democrats tell us all the time. They love to make the argument that they're the authority when it comes to the science and the facts and research. We run the universities, they say. We're so smart and look at my big brain. But there's one problem with that narrative, and that problem always shows up when they open their mouths. The party of science strikes again as another one of these meth head liberals makes possibly the dumbest argument I have ever witnessed or ever heard. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. This is possibly the dumbest argument, the dumbest talking point ever made in a political debate. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that as we delve into the mind of your average woke Democrat. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so real quick context. The topic of this debate, whether biological males should compete in female sports. Just take a look at this Democrat's main argument.
And my granddaughter, who's playing college sports, I asked her about this when we had this 2 years ago, and she said, you know what? If a trans woman was competing against me in the sport, then that just means if that person's better than me, I need to work harder.
So you heard it from Wisconsin Democrat David Considine. Apparently, women who are complaining of biological males competing in their sports and dominating their sports should stop complaining and should just work harder. The problem isn't that it's fundamentally unfair and that there's an obvious biological gap or biological difference that heavily disadvantages female players. The problem is you women just don't work hard enough. Could you imagine unironically saying that? Could you imagine being such a partisan fool that you are willing to throw out any semblance of common sense? You are willing to be so intellectually dishonest, because there's no way this guy actually believes this, and say something like that. What an insult to every single female athlete that has ever existed. You know, it's almost like having a 5-year-old kid face Steph Curry in a 3-point shooting contest, one-on-one, and when the kid obviously inevitably gets absolutely demolished, you tell the kid, well, you didn't work hard enough. That's why. It's not like Steph Curry has a physical advantage over you. An absolutely insane statement, and frankly, a repugnant state. But trust me when I say it gets even worse. He then built on his argument. He added on with this.
The other thing I want to say is this is a little bit about privilege. We heard that from one of the trans athletes in the education community who became a soccer star, played with men's teams. And you know what she said? She said, I am able to lead in women's soccer, not because I'm a trans woman, but because I grew up with privilege.
You serious? What is this guy smoking? I mean, seriously. Him and Hunter Biden must have the same drug dealer. The reason biological males dominate female sports is not because of biological advantages, it's because of privilege? What privilege exactly is that? Class privilege? Societal privilege? What does that have to do with literally anything? And if it's not that, what is it? Privilege to be able to grow up in male spaces and compete in that competitive environment? Being in that environment alone is some sort of privilege that allows you to progress quicker and I guess set you ahead of your female counterparts when you end up competing in that league? By that logic, I guess we should just have young female athletes growing up with the privilege of competing against young boys. Oh wait, that doesn't happen because they literally cannot compete. We've seen a couple of attempts at this. In youth sports, we've all seen the headline of a young female athlete supposedly so good that she can compete with the boys. Every single one of those instances has led to utter embarrassment for the female athlete. In fact, the biological difference is so great that female athletes can't even be a kicker on the football team. It's been tried before. Mexican-American woman becomes the first NCAA Division I female kicker at an HBCU. This story was all the rage.
Tiger family, my name is Leilani Armenta. I am a kicker on the football team. Today was my first game, first home game, first kick, And I'm feeling very good. It was a lot of nerves, very exciting, but we will definitely be seeing some extra points, field goals, kickoffs. You know, I'm getting back into it. I feel really good. I'm really excited to go see where the season goes, and I want to thank you guys all for your support, and go Tigers.
It started off as this great, empowering moment. Leftoids rejoicing. And then, well, very quickly, reality set in.
Up and maybe even do some field goals tonight for the Jackson State Tigers. Of course, she was on the Jackson State women's soccer team, and because of injuries this week during practice, she's going to get her shot tonight to be a kicker. And what an impressive young lady it's been, and a chance for her. And I'm sure she's pretty nervous at this point, but they have her out there, and sweat football is underway in the
I mean, come on. Privilege? Seriously? Lack of effort? Female athletes just aren't trying hard enough? This is insane. I mean, this is legitimately insane stuff. And the insanity continued. The Democrat politician from earlier also made this argument.
The best we got was, well, some parents are concerned that their daughter might miss out on a scholarship. They might miss out on playing for this team or that team. Boy, that doesn't sound like community. That sounds like selfishness. I'm sorry to label it that way, but that sounds like what it is to me. I'm only worried about myself. I'm not worried about building the team and having my school have a powerful team.
If you're a parent who's worried about your daughter missing out on opportunities, making the team, or getting a scholarship, then you're just selfish. And when it all failed, when nobody bought his women aren't working hard enough, or the real difference here, the real important factor here is privilege, when it seemed like those arguments weren't working, well, this was the last desperate argument that he attempted to make.
Since we've funded Title IX sports, the gap has consistently lessened between the best men and the best women, and that is across all sports. I'm not so sure it's biological. It goes back to the money and the training. Thank you.
The only difference is money and training. I'm not even going to address that argument. I really don't think I need to address any of them, to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and just continue to reiterate the same basic, obvious facts. Just when you thought the left couldn't get more insane, they seem to outdo themselves every single frickin' time. It's not a meme. It's real. You're living it. This is it. We're in it. We are in the clown world. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.